Welcome to the Encouraging Word, place for thoughtful conversation, reflective faith, and encouragement for the journey. I'm Pastor Eric. Wherever you're listening from, I'm glad you're here. Good morning, beautiful people. This is Pastor Eric, Associate Pastor at Lyndhurst Baptist Church on the west side of Indianapolis, and Indiana State Chaplain for Broken Chains JC. And this is your encouraging word for today. So we are continuing our Atonement Theory series. And this week we've been looking at the moral influence theory. Next week we will begin to look at the governmental theory, which shows us how God's justice preserves moral order and shows us what is good. So today's devotion, which finishes up the moral influence theory, is entitled Obedience Born from Gratitude. Our scripture for today comes from John chapter 14, verse 15. If you love me, keep my commands. One of the great misunderstandings about obedience is the belief that it is primarily about obligation, duty, pressure, expectation, performance. Many people assume obedience is how we secure God's approval, that it is the condition of being loved rather than the result of being loved. But Jesus gives us a different order. If you love me, keep my commands. Notice what comes first. Love. Obedience in the Christian life does not begin with fear or pressure. It begins with relationship. It grows from gratitude. It flows from the recognition that we have already been loved in a way we did not earn and could never deserve. That is one of the central insights of the moral influence theory, understanding of the cross. When the love of God is revealed clearly, obedience becomes a response rather than a requirement. Love received becomes loyalty expressed. The early church understood that obedience rooted in love is fundamentally different from obedience rooted in fear. John Cassian wrote, "The mind is not purified by fear alone, but by the love of God, which draws it towards what is good." That is from his Conferences 11, chapter 13. Castian reminds us that fear may restrain behavior for a time, but love reshapes desire. When the heart is drawn towards God, obedience becomes not merely possible, it becomes natural. Love changes what we want. G.K. Chesterton wrote, "Christianity has not been tried and found wanting. It has been found difficult and left untried." It's from his book, What's Wrong with the World, Part 1, Chapter 5. Chesterton's insight points to something important. The difficulty of Christian obedience is not simply the weight of command. It is the depth of the love that motivates it. When we truly grasp the love revealed at the cross, obedience is no longer merely about following rules. It becomes participation in a life shaped by gratitude. This is important because many believers still live as though obedience is something they must force, something heavy, something exhausting, something that proves their sincerity. But the cross tells us a different story. You are already loved. You are already received. You are already forgiven. Obedience is not how you earn those realities. It's how you live inside of them. So if obedience has felt burdensome, if faithfulness has felt like pressure, if following Christ has sometimes felt like striving instead of responding, please hear this encouraging word today. God is not asking you to obey in order to be loved. He is inviting you to obey because you are loved. And gratitude makes obedience light. Receive this blessing. May gratitude for Christ's love shape every act of obedience. May love guide your choices more than fear ever could. May your life become a joyful response to the grace you have received. Grace and peace to you, beautiful people. Thanks for sharing this time with me. I hope these words have given you space to breathe and something steady to carry with you into the rest of your day. Until next time, grace and peace.